Guys, we're live from Cleveland, Ohio, on
And
this
Canton.
cold and Kenton, Ohio. And Meg, where are you at?
So I'm in Wisconsin. I'm in Door County, so way up in the thumb of Wisconsin.
In
So
Door
she's cold
County.
too.
Guys, in Door County, Wisconsin, on this beautiful minus 50 degrees weather all over the country, guys. I think pretty much everywhere it's really cold right now because I know I checked the weather. Except maybe Miami, Florida, is a little bit warm. Even though I talked to my brother and it's cold there. So,
It's cold.
guys, welcome to Saturday night edition of Unprofessional Reseller Live. And today we got beautiful guest in the house. We got Meg, Lilac Seller. Please welcome her with open arms. And
Thank you.
she actually, guys, I met me and Lisa when we were at the reseller rally. We met Meg at the reseller rally in Cincinnati,
She was very
and
sweet.
she was very sweet, especially to us.
It's all a facade.
And we talked to Meg, and as you guys know, Meg actually goes to different lives, supports lives, and watches YouTube content and for reselling. I know that for sure, most likely, right, Meg?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, and Meg also has a YouTube channel, which I actually, guys, put on YouTube in my description of the live, that you guys can go and subscribe to Meg if you haven't done so. Most likely, some of you don't know Meg, some of you do know Meg. You probably talked to her in the lives, but please go ahead and support her, subscribe to her channel. Hopefully, Meg will start making consistent videos on her channel.
So
And
I was going to say caveat because my channel up until this point has had absolutely no real content, but because I knew I was coming here today, I actually put out a really tiny video. So that was for you guys
see
because
you
I knew
guys, there you
otherwise
go.
Roma would get on my case.
So that's for you guys. See, Meg put out content for you. So please go ahead and subscribe and watch the video, guys. Give her a like and write a comment. Hit the bell, don't forget.
There you
And
go.
let me say hello to people who got in here. Red Relics, John first. John, welcome. We got Atni Drop Flips, Richard in the house. Richard, welcome. We got Dumpster Diver Dead, Dallas Cowboys fan in the house, Scott from Flipping Goodies Live. We got Scott. Please do not make jokes about the Browns today. Not today, man. Not today, guys. Be nice because I'm heartbroken
Poor
again.
Roman.
Once again, guys, with Cleveland sports teams. I'm heartbroken as usual, but it is what it is, guys. It usually occurs all the time, unfortunately. Nicola Presto in the house. Nicole, welcome. We got Shane Soda City Flips in the house. We got Eddie Someta in the house. We got, let's see if I haven't missed anyone else yet. Flipping Mike, welcome. Treasure Scavengers, Amber, welcome. Flipping Goodies, Mike, welcome. ABC Matt, welcome, Matt. Junk Trader, Anissa, welcome. Jill, welcome. Go Browns. Ken, SSK Promo, welcome. Ken, Go Browns. I actually talked to Ken on Instagram throughout the game. So he knows how I feel. And the Vintage Sports Flips, Keith in the house. Keith, welcome. Eureka Franklin, one of the best YouTube names in history. Welcome. We got Perfectly Blessed Angela in the house. Welcome. And here's Meg, guys. Meg, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, guys. So like I said, guys, I apologize in advance if I'm gonna be a little bit late on reading comments. I usually get back to it after a 2 hour period. So hopefully within 2 hours I'll get to your comments and we'll read everyone's comments. But I'll be putting channels in the chat as usual. So you guys, if you haven't subscribed to someone, you can subscribe. So Meg, if someone doesn't know you, please introduce yourself in terms of what you do and how you got into reselling, and if you do it part-time or full-time, if you also regarding your YouTube channel, so people will know who you are if they don't.
Sure. So I am Meg. I am from Lilac Seller. Initially, when I picked that name, I didn't realize that we had a large like community of resellers. So seller is actually CELLAR, and it is because I was reselling out of my basement in the tiny little nook of a cellar that I had there, and I had painted it purple. So it's the lilac cellar. And then I got into reselling and realized that, everybody else is a seller or a thrifter or bearded in some way. So I feel like, at least I kind of put myself in those categories. I wouldn't say that I am full time if we're talking about, where does most of the money come from? But I would say, where do I put my time? Yes, then full time. But I'm actually retired from federal service. So I was with the VA for quite a while. And prior to that, the post office. So I have a lot of shipping knowledge and a lot of packaging stuff under my belt. So pretty much anything I ship gets to where it's going without being broken because I have seen how those things are treated. So that I feel like is one of my superpowers, is being able to get fragile things from here to there and get them there in one piece. And let's see, what else? I started mostly on Poshmark, and it was clothing to begin with. And as of today, I absolutely loathe selling clothing. Everything about it is just awful. I hate the fixing and the mending and the stains and the returns and the measuring, and everything about it is awful. So I'm really, really glad that I don't have to do any of that anymore, because I have moved on to more like hard goods, fragile things, and books. Books is the bulk of what I sell. So I think that's pretty good intro. That is me.
That's nice. So, guys, see, that's a lot of different backgrounds for Meg. In terms of actually interesting that you were, did you work for USPS for a while?
Yeah, several years. I was a rural carrier and carrier in the city as well. Nothing with benefits, because when I first started there, they had been on a hiring freeze for like 12 years. So everybody they hired was a temp, which meant that I worked for, all but 1 week of the year. So they could pretend that I was not a full-time employee because I had 1 week of unpaid service. So I did that for several years and got to work in the Christmas annex. So when I say I've seen how the packages are treated, oof, they're not handled gently.
I believe you actually, but I think it's not just with USPS. I think FedEx, UPS probably
Mhm.
they are not handled as people think they are, most likely, because if it's
No.
something. I think it also depends possibly on actual person handling it, most likely who works at those places. But I think with how fast they have to work, I think in
Yep.
an environment they have to kind of process so many packages throughout the day.
Mhm.
I think that basically that's what happens. They kind of
Bingo.
they will throw stuff. They will, of course, do something in terms of like things like that to just
Mhm.
process stuff faster. So I believe that, and do being like, you know, I've been shipping for a long time, so I know in terms of like, if you don't do your job as a reseller or as a shipper and properly package something
Mhm.
yourself, most likely if you're gonna put 100 fragile stickers on a box, it's not gonna make a huge difference. So like,
No, those fragile stickers just mean that when it breaks, at least the pieces of glass have something to stick to.
exactly. So that's a thing, guys, and that's a good thing, Meg, that you actually have experience working at USPS, because, as you know, a lot of resellers sometimes they will complain about lost packages or damaged packages, like insurance claims, stuff like that. And I had one recently, actually, which I will make a video about, from USPS, Ground Advantage, and I actually won that case, and
Good.
they sent me a check, so I'll make a little educational video that you guys love on my channel, especially educational ones, which will take about an hour. But In terms of when you actually when you worked at USPS, did you actually do reselling also on the side at the time?
Not at the time, no. Reselling came later, probably, gosh, almost a decade later, I'd say. The reselling bug hit me when I was trying to clean out my own closet, and hence Poshmark being really easy because you can just throw it into one of their priority envelopes and call it a day. So I was just trying to get things out of my own house, and I was shocked at how well some of the things could possibly sell. Um, it kind of started on a fluke because I was looking something up for a friend, and up popped an eBay type of listing, and I was like, wait a minute, I can get $50 for this purse I was going to just donate. I'm
That
like,
does
okay.
it.
I'm like, I can sell that. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. Although I was trying to think about what the first thing was that I had ever sold online, and it was something on eBay, and it was back in probably the mid to late 2000s, and it was Royal Bayreuth. I don't know if anybody is familiar. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
It is Beirut.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
love the lobster pieces.
so that what I had found was like some sort of I think it was like a creamer and sugar set, and it was shaped like grapes. And I remember finding that when I was thrifting for a couple bucks and thinking, ooh, I bet this is worth something, and sold it for $20-$25 on eBay, and then didn't sell anything for probably another 15 years. But that is the first thing I sold on eBay until I got back into it for real a few years ago.
That's nice, actually. Let me say hello. I forgot to say hello to Ping G. Ping, welcome. And Ken SSK Promo says the Browns lost. I need some Meg to cheer me up. So there you go, Meg. Ken wants you to cheer him up a little bit.
Hopefully, I can do a good job at that.
Hopefully, yeah. But so you like you mostly do you have most of the stuff on like Poshmark right now that
So
you?
I would say mostly eBay. My second platform is Etsy, since I am selling a lot of books, and I don't do the kinds of books where you see the folks out doing the scanning. Most of what I'm going to sell is the stuff that you need to actually do some research on. So like older books that are before ISBN really existed. I'm a big fan of those, and local cookbooks. Those are my bread and butter. Like, I know everybody's got something that they feel like is their, go-to. If I go to any sort of new community, I am always looking up those local cookbooks because they consistently sell and they're super easy to list because I've got a template for them. So I would say eBay first, followed by Etsy. And then I'm still throwing things up on Poshmark, but a lot of the stuff I sell now is not the best fit anymore for Poshmark, given that paying $8 for shipping on a book is kind of a tough sell. And Poshmark's got that, $8 shipping amount on pretty much everything. So unless it's a really significant book, I don't really put it up there.
And especially on Poshmark, as you know, it's something over £5 usually they charge you extra.
Mm-hmm.
So and
Exactly.
I've made some mistakes also with Poshmarks in the past where I listed some heavy stuff. Actually, I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember what it was, but they actually took it down after certain things I was putting on there. It was over
Really?
like it was over like 15 pounds, I think, in weight. I remember it
Wow.
because they just took it down.
I've
They
never had that happen. Like, I get the warning all the time where they try and say, "Are you sure you want to list this? If you do a coffee table book," because they know those can be heavy. I've never had them pull something down.
Are
That's
you
crazy.
sure you want to list this? You really want to keep it. That's what they're saying. You
No,
really want to
mine was the problem was I think couple times when I shipped something which was over 15 pounds on Poshmark, and they actually one time they charged me extra for the label. They sent me a message that
Mm-hmm.
I at the time I think it was my fault anyway because I knew better that list something that was over that particular weight, and I just forgot
Yeah.
about it. Like, and then I already don't do it anymore. So, but then after a certain amount of time when I did it, they pulled down two listings, which were they were probably around 20 pounds
That's
in weight.
nuts.
So they just, they realized that I'm trying to sell this type of heavy stuff. So they just pulled it down, but I don't do it anymore. So it was kind of worked out itself to the best. Let me say hello to Alex Ignatiuk. This is actually Lisa and Anthony. When they were in Cleveland, they met Alex in our Goodwill Bean store. And Alex is actually from Ukraine. And he's my friend reseller here. And he's from Erie, PA, but he drives to our Cleveland Goodwill Beans.
That's insane.
Yeah, he drives hour and a half, guys. I think I talked about it before. He drives 3 times a week from Erie, PA. Anissa lives near Erie, I think, junk trader. So Alex drives 1 hour and a half to our Goodwill Beans 3 times, or sometimes I think 4 times a week in the morning, and he stays there almost all day and until it closes and leaves. So that's
You kind of
basically
have to if you're going to drive that far. My bins is about an hour and a half from me as well. So I definitely do not get there 3 times a week. So good for you. That's a lot of driving.
So, yeah, Alex, guys, say hello to Alex, please. Alex actually doesn't. Alex said that I asked him if he will do a YouTube channel in the future. I think he didn't have like at the time when I asked him, he didn't know yet. But I don't think he most likely will. Maybe not. But it is what it is. But he is a good picker. He finds really good stuff. Even yesterday when we were at the bins, he found really good stuff at the bins. So. Good picker, guys. So let me say, I said hello to ABC Matt. Hey, Roman, your Browns got plowed. Matt, yeah, man, that's what happens. Unfortunately, whenever you go to playoffs and you're not ready to play, you get plowed. I mean, there is no excuse. You have to.
I don't
You
know
have
if that's
to.
the right words we should be using, but okay.
Well, it was actually, unfortunately,
that?
like I said, me and Ken and Jill, most likely. Ken SSK Promo and Jill, who are supporting Cleveland teams. We know already the heartbreak. We've been through a lot of heartbreaks throughout any teams, Indians, Cavs, Browns, history. And it is, I mean, difficult, but we don't give up. I mean, I'm not going to, change the team because one of my favorite teams, I mean, my team loses all the time. I'm not I'm not gonna do something like that. So it is what it is. Hopefully next year they will come back. And like I said, I've been supporting Cleveland teams for so long that I already got used to it. People in Cleveland got used to this. So it is kind of complicated and heartbreaking all the time. But the way they lost today, I didn't see this coming. I mean, in the beginning, it was kind of something, just the roof caved in a way. So that's why I told Meg before we went live. But so we're not gonna talk about this that much because, as you guys know,
Yeah,
resellers.
people don't need to antagonize you. Come on, guys. Really, don't
Resellers,
shake the baby. Don't shake the baby.
guys. The good thing I'm not a Browns coach like Kevin Stefanski is. I would have probably cursed the whole team out in the locker room. But I'm not the coach, guys. So the good thing maybe that I'm not the coach because I'm very kind of passionate, and I usually when I see something like that happen, I get really, inside there is some kind of switch inside of me that turns on, and I become really unhappy.
He turns into a little Hulk, you guys, but he turns
Yeah,
orange.
I turned like today when I was watching a game in the bar. I was promising myself I'm not gonna curse loudly, but I had to, So unfortunately, it is what it is. But it wasn't just me. There were a bunch of fans who were disgusted, and it happens, guys. Not just with Browns, a lot of teams, guys. Believe me, we just got very loyal fan base in Cleveland, and Meg actually knows. We talked about it in Milwaukee. Also, they got very loyal fan base, and they love their teams. So that's when they lose, especially like Browns lost today. It's kind of difficult, guys. So let's go back to reselling, guys, because everyone will leave and go to bed. We're gonna go watch Kansas City play Miami Dolphins. I know some of you are Dolphins or Chiefs fans, so most likely you guys are watching the game. So Meg, in terms of YouTube, what kind of content do you think you will want to in the future? What would you like to? What kind of content is it going to be? Most likely reselling, I think, right?
I feel like I don't have much to add, when it comes to reselling. I feel like there are so many people who are very well versed and have far more experience and success than I do that I definitely wouldn't be putting anything out giving advice. And if I did anything, it'd be more like day in the life of. So the video I put out today literally is just me walking to the post office today. I'm a simple gal doing simple things. So, oh, Lissa's got a fur baby too.
Oh, there you go. There is a Cleveland Browns fan also.
Yay.
That was cheering. And Jill is right, actually. Jill said Roman sounds like he's been yelling. Jill, I was. Believe me. Actually, I'm surprised. I have voice left because I was yelling and cheering until a certain point when the roof caved in. Then I was not that happy. And we got Prickly Pear 27 in the house. Welcome. And let's see if guys, I'm really sorry. Flipping for laughs. Chris in the house. Chris, welcome. Appreciate you guys. All of you stopping by. If you're just coming in, we got special guest, beautiful Meg, Lilac Seller in the house today. And please subscribe to her channel, guys. I got all the links in the description of the live. And follow her on Instagram. And Meg will be probably, I think, Meg, what do you think in terms of content? Would you do it consistently, or are you going to do it like me, like once a year?
So I hope to be more frequent than once a year, but I cannot promise consistency based on the fact that like a lot of people in this community, there's like that ADHD thing going on, and it is really hard to have some sort of thing that you stick to on a consistent basis. So hopefully, like, maybe once a week, twice a week, if it strikes me and something's interesting. But I can't make any promises.
So yeah, it's the same as me. Usually, like I kind of trying to become more consistent, but then I just don't have time, and it just kind of drags. Even though I got a lot of different footage that I haven't released, guys, but I'm kind of don't have time all the time, like to source, ship list, and even I know videos are, in my opinion, if you at least do some kind of job on editing, most likely YouTube algorithm may pick it up and try to push out your video. But when you kind of not putting in my opinion, maybe it's not like that. It depends. Nobody kind of understands, as you know, how YouTube algorithm works. But if you're not putting a lot of effort, in my opinion, into editing and trying to kind of push out the videos, as long as you have at least some kind of normal thumbnail to attract the audience, maybe one of the videos will get viral. Who knows? I'm still waiting for it, guys.
I can say the one video I did put out today, I did none of the editing on. I tried to check out some software and realized that I have no idea what I'm doing. And so my husband grabbed it and took over. So if anybody likes the little video I put out today, none of that was my talent. That was all my husband.
Well, props to your husband.
You take the credit. It's part of being married. No, you did it. If it's good, you did it. If it's bad, he did it. He did it. I had nothing.
Nah. Credit where credit's due. He definitely was the one who polished that little turd. So I'm gonna put that out there and let him have it.
Yeah, that's I mean, what like, as long Meg, nobody knows. Maybe that particular video that you put out will go viral. Then,
there you go.
See, hopefully, you never know how it is. One time, like I probably there are a bunch of examples when like YouTube content creators don't put out any content at all for like months, and then they will just make some kind of video, will do good job on editing, and just put one out, and suddenly this video will go viral, and they just have like couple of videos on their channel. So that also happens. So that's why YouTube is kind of one of those things that nobody can understand how this algorithm works.
It just happens.
It just, I guess, it picks you out like a lottery and pushes it. But if you're consistent, I think if you're consistent, most likely, if you do like videos on certain, like if you like put out a video at certain time of the day, every other day, and then you kind of do it the same way with this like similar thumbnails about similar subject, most likely, in my opinion, those will probably gonna get, either will go viral, some of them, and algorithm will pick them up and start to push out the channel to larger audience. In my opinion, that probably is how most likely it works. But it also has to be some kind of, in terms of editing, some kind of I mean, at least a decent job of editing, in my opinion. It's not has to be doesn't have to be really great, but some kind of, at least some kind of editing work has to be done. But it is what it is. So
there's going to be no hope for me then, really, is what that comes down to, because there won't be consistency. There won't be like a subject matter that is consistent either. So whatever.
But if your husband's good at polishing turds, we can get together and work on video turds.
Perfect.
Yeah, hopefully, Meg, hopefully our channels and Lisa maybe also some of the videos will go viral. Who knows? And then we're gonna
for the reasons we want, I'm sure.
Especially, yeah, YouTube probably watches right now. I think YouTube management is watching our lives, and they're taking notes right now. Notes. They're like, "Why are they
getting negative points right now?"
They're like, I think you know what happens. I think YouTube or eBay watches everyone's content just in case and trying to see what they're saying. We got Lucky 19 T's in the house. Welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. We got Flipping Therapist in the house also here. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. And we're gonna have more people hopefully coming in. And if you guys have any questions for Meg, you can put them down in the comments in the chat. If you want to know something about reselling or just anything in terms of what type of hobbies Meg has and stuff like that, put it in the chat, and hopefully I'll get to them. But before we do, Meg, what type of hobbies do you have? What would you like to do in terms of hobbies? Do you have any specific hobbies that you like to do?
I'm an outdoorsy kid, so I'm trying to get out and take the dog for walks and hikes as much as I possibly can. Although if I didn't have the dog, I think I would probably stay at home a lot more than I do. So that is one of them. I've tried doing some foraging. I don't like to eat mushrooms. However, they make really good stock for ramen. So we do a lot of foraging up here for like chanterelles during that season. And then I make some soup stocks during the year. I love to cook. And I used to make soap, and that's something I'm going to get back into this year, I think. That is one of my, New Year's resolutions, because I really enjoyed that. And I moved a couple years ago, and when I moved, I packed all that stuff up and then just never took it back out. So I think I'd like to get back into that. So give myself a little bit of time.
That's kind of interesting. So soap making, like a regular type of soap, like that you used to wash hands?
Yeah, that you used to wash hands. Not the kind that you go to the craft store and just get like the little kit where you can heat it up and pour it into a mold, but like the kind that takes all the chemicals. So like you've got all the lye, and you've got to be, up to your elbows with rubber gloves and making sure that you've got, everything ready to go, and you don't make things explode, like that kind of soap making. It's kind of fun, actually.
Wow, that's interesting. That's the first time I didn't know someone who does it, actually. I know that there are people that do that. It's kind of interesting thing to do as a hobby. But I mean, if you even, did you ever think of something, if you're going to make certain soap with certain, I don't know, like different flavors, I guess, like that they make with like hand soap and stuff like that. Do you think if you make like if you could make a lot of it, would you be able to sell it? Of course, you probably would be able to.
I think I could probably do more like farmer's market, or be able to have it at maybe like one of the booths up here at like one of the antique stores or something. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far forward with it. I had just been making it as gifts, and like my nieces and nephews, and doing them in like fun shapes and different kinds of like smells and stuff. I tried really hard to make a coffee soap because I thought that would be so fun to have something like that in the morning. And oh boy, that one was a challenge because I tried using real coffee grounds and stuff, and then it just ended up leaving kind of a gnarly beige stain on the ceramic when I was using it. So that was a no-go. But yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things you can do with it. It's just, I don't know that I would ever get big enough to sell it beyond kind of like a little booth or something.
So like if you probably, it's a good idea if you do like I say flea markets, you can actually, if you make enough, of course, even different types of, like flavors of soaps that people most likely can choose from. That kind of stuff most likely will sell, especially even on eBay. I think, of course, it will sell because this is something that can be, one of those products that can be unique in its nature if you make it on your own. But there are people who do that. I mean, there are people who create their own things and they sell it on eBay or even on flea markets, at flea markets. And I've seen that already many times. And it's actually, sometimes, but you have to, of course, make a lot of it and work on it. It's not an easy thing to do, as you know, guys. And
well, soap takes a long time to cure. So you're actually looking at trying to make something like a month to a month and a half ahead of time. So you have to really know what you're going to need for stock because it takes a while for it to set up properly.
Yeah, and that's interesting because if you actually, and how long does it take usually for one soap to make, for one bar soap?
So the initial making of it, maybe 20 minutes to an hour, depending on all your ingredients and what you're doing, but it takes a while to cure because of the chemical processes. And if you were to try and use it too early, you would actually burn yourself because of the lye content that's in there. So it needs to sit for quite a while and come to the proper consistency. And that's a problem too, because if you use too much of one ingredient or another, you could have something that never really sets up. So you end up with kind of like a weird, squishy, soft type of soap, or something that's so hard that it's like jagged and crunchy. So it's been years since I've done it. So I know it's going to be a steep learning curve again, going back into it.
Meg, you just have that lie around to say that you're making soap. There's really some bodies going missing. We know what's really up here. Come on, girl.
My husband just popped into the chat here, and I'm going to say he was always
so he's Adam.
He's here. Yes. So that man does an excellent hair cutting job, by the way.
Oh, I had to check and make sure he wasn't a troll. I was
no. So that's my guy right there. But we used to own some properties in Milwaukee. We had a 4-family and a couple duplexes. And he was always real happy that I was into soap making because he needed that lye in order to deal with some of the plumbing problems that our tenants would create. So,
okay.
Yeah.
There's another angle. I just think bodies, I'm a woman of a certain age. Of course, there's a lot of crime shows in my lineup. I mean,
girl, I was telling Roman before we got on here, the two things in my YouTube algorithm are reseller content and true crime. Like there's like almost nothing else that pops up. So yeah.
See, it's a real thing. Y'all better worry about.
It is very interesting. And by the way, welcome Meg's husband. Welcome to the live. Thanks for stopping by. What's your husband's name?
It's Adam.
Adam, welcome to the Unprofessional Live. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna try to ask Meg as many questions as we can.
Bring it on.
If you don't mind. Let me say hello to I'm a Reseller, Shagan in the house. We got Little Debbie in the house. We got let's see who else I missed, guys, because like I said, I'm Larry way out one in the house. Anastasia in the house. Nastya is also from Russia, guys. As you guys know, she's from our Discord group. Doesn't have a YouTube channel. Hopefully, Anastasia will start her own channel soon. And Nicolo Presto, because they are good resellers. They just don't have YouTube channels. And usually, I always say it. I think, in my opinion, there are really good resellers who don't have any social media or YouTube. Those are, I think, really good resellers, in my opinion, because they concentrate mostly on sourcing, finding good stuff to resell, and they just, I mean, if they will take their time to try to make YouTube videos and create content and stuff like that, I think it will take some time from their like regular type of schedules that they already got used to in terms of just being full-time, especially if they're full-time, to try to just concentrate mostly on reselling, which actually, it is what it is. And it is always nice, you watch different types of videos when there are not real resellers, according to some people, real resellers. I don't make this difference at all, because, I mean, people choose who they want to be. So it's their choice. So there you go, guys. So Meg, in terms of when did you start watching the YouTube content for reselling? How long ago did you?
I think it was during the pandemic. I feel like that is probably when reselling for me turned from just, having a few items that I was selling into more of what I was actually doing. Because up until that point, I was working full time and then just kind of doing the reselling on the side. And so when the pandemic hit and we were all stuck at home and I was bored, I think that's when I started finding reseller content. I remember watching, I think it was Common Tags and Amber Resells and Pete the Craigslist Hunter, which P.S. Pete just, I don't know who else saw his announcement of him buying his like cabin area. I think that's up by me. So first time I saw Pete, he was walking down the street in one of the neighborhoods up by me. And I was so starstruck. I couldn't run across the street and be like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that was exciting. But
because I think that actually is the cabins that Pete bought. This is actually located in Door County, right? I think it is in Door County. Yeah, it is in Door. So
he's right up by me.
So Pete, if you're lurking, you can let Meg be the first visitor to the cabin.
I told him when we went to the rally, actually, I came up and I said I was fangirling from across the street and couldn't come up and say hi. I'm like, but at the rally, I actually did. So I felt like that was the appropriate time. But yeah, that's kind of when I remember starting to watch reseller content was early in the pandemic. And that's kind of when a lot of what I was doing shifted toward eBay too, because I had more time to research actually selling on eBay, which is a little bit more complex than doing Poshmark. So that was kind of one of those opportunities, I guess I would say, for me to take. I feel like the pandemic gave a lot of people some opportunities they wouldn't have otherwise, taken. So to put a positive spin on that.
That's actually true, because during pandemic, that's what we discussed with Meg actually before we went live. A lot of channels that formed during the pandemic time. That's when most of I think there was large amount of YouTube content creators because of the pandemic, because people had time to be at home and create content and stuff like that. That's why a lot of channels kind of formed at the time, not just reselling, all different types of categories. And
yeah, a lot of cooking.
Well, yeah, a lot
Which
of
Roman, I've enjoyed your cooking stuff. Like, I feel like I might have mentioned it when we were at the rally, but my older sister is actually originally from Kazakhstan. And so we have had, for the last couple decades, a lot of food that comes from, like a Russian tradition. And so like just watching some of the things you were cooking reminds me of some of the foods that we've had in my home. And I really, really like that.
And there are going to be more coming, guys. More cooking videos on my channel, guys. In a mix with reselling content, with some other stuff. So as you guys know, I've said it before, but yeah, cooking itself is like, because Meg, a lot of people don't realize it, that there is such a large amount of different cultures that
Mhm.
were in the former Soviet Union that actually had so many different
Yeah.
variety of dishes that are associated. Since I'm from Uzbekistan, for example, and Kazakhstan actually was near Uzbekistan, it was a little bit north, but it's a large country, and
Mhm.
on itself, it was like almost as big as, even more. I think it was larger than both Texas and California. It was like a really big country on its own. So
Mhm.
there was a lot of influences from different types of cultures and cooking and Russian food, and like people from Kazakhstan who were closer to Russian Federation, they would cook more stuff that is kind of Russian. Some people who lived closer to Uzbekistan, they would cook stuff that is more Uzbek or Tajik, which is actually countries in the south. So that's why there were a lot of influences, and people tried to make different type of variety of different dishes, and that's what I do usually on my channel, is that I kind of will implemented Russian kind of dishes and some of Uzbek dishes also, because that's what a lot of women who came from former Soviet Union, they actually learned how to cook different variety of dishes based on the countries of former Soviet Union. So like
Mhm.
Ukraine, Belarus, Russian Federation, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and there was Armenia near Georgia. So there was a lot of different variety of different food, like recipes and stuff like that. So, but I'll do some different ones also. You'll see on my channel. And Meg, if you're gonna do some cooking on your channel, that's gonna be also kind of cool.
My cooking is the kind of cooking where I just see what's in the fridge and then I invent a recipe. So like I I don't have anything I could teach someone because it's never going to be the same every single time. It there's a lot of variation. I love to
I
cook.
feel you,
I
girl.
love
I
it.
feel
But
you.
But
yeah, it is.
it is kind of cool. I mean, that's what it's about. Me too. Like for example, if I will change up a lot of stuff, even with the stuff that I made on the channel that I put out 3 videos already of cooking videos. I changed up some of the dishes because that's the way I like to do them, and I got a lot of influence also myself from my older brother, who is he's a professional cook, and he had 3 restaurants. So basically, I was kind of he's 10 years older than me, so I was growing up kind of watching him how he was cooking stuff, and he would work like he would own a restaurant, and he had bunch of employees there that actually like other cooks and like waiters and stuff like that. That I was around the restaurant, so that was kind of a lot of influence for me to watch it and learn some of that stuff. And he was making all types of dishes, American dishes, Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian. So he would, I mean, he still does a little bit. Not, he doesn't own restaurant right now, but I mean, he still is very good at cooking. But it is,
Do you make anything like pierogi or anything like that?
no, I
No?
actually, it wasn't one of my favorite things to cook because you have to do like a dough and you have to like,
Yeah.
roll the dough and stuff like that. I actually know how to do it, but I need to bring this proper equipment in that I
It's
can use.
it's so labor intensive that I things like that and like doing like tamales, like those are the kinds of things that are on the the edge of what I want to cook because they just are so labor intensive, but I want to be really close with somebody who loves to make those. So I was really hoping, Roman, you'd say yes and you'd be
I
making those
will
for me.
try. I will try possibly to do something in the future. There was some Uzbek type of pirashki, like you're saying, but they were called samsas that are like similar in a way how
Mhm.
to make it, but it's different meat inside. So there is a lot of explaining on how it's done, and they use very good like uh, the things that you are used for making pizzas, like those stoves that you put like pizza on
Mhm.
the inside, and it's basically like they do it in Italy. So it's like has to be a very professional type of thing that you can use for it, but you can use other things to do it. It's not just needs to be specific equipment or anything. It's just more time consuming compared to other things. So
Right.
it is what it is. Let me say hello to Max, fast talking flipper guys in the house from Ohio, big supporter of Bengals. And Max, if you're still here, unfortunately, all Ohio teams are currently out of playoffs. So we're all out. Bengals are out. Bengals didn't even make it, and now Browns are out. So Ohio teams are again, guys. Unfortunately, not in the playoffs.
There's always next time, Ruben.
Guys, there is
Pulling for you, man.
Wah, wah.
there is a famous saying. There is always next year. So we're gonna start making cooking videos instead.
That's the motto of all Ohio and Browns supporters. There's always next year.
So in terms of Meg, in terms of I know that how did you find out about the reseller rally? Did you actually were you in that live when they announced it last year?
Yep.
And or were you in the live and basically you because you weren't at one in 2021, right? Yeah, you weren't
Right.
there.
No, I wasn't. I had, obviously heard about it because so many people talked about that initial rally. But no, I just happened to be up and see the live that night when they announced it, and had perhaps had one or two beverages before I was watching the live, and so was feeling confident enough to buy myself a ticket, even though I am not great at socializing in large groups. So I think had I not had the liquid courage, I would not have bought the ticket, because the next morning I woke up and went, oh no, I bought a ticket. Now I have to go.
Wow, that was fun. I mean, it was really exciting to meet you at the time because I mean, I didn't specifically, for some reason, know that you were coming to the rally before we actually kind of knew who is going and who is not going. So I think I didn't know that there will be some people that not in the lives, for example, that I knew that someone was going, and then it was exciting to meet someone who I didn't know was going. So that was kind of interesting.
I'm really glad.
Cards, Meg.
I'm really glad I went. I felt like I needed to do that because I pop into a lot of different lives, but typically I'm working, so I will just pop in and I'll say hello, and then I kind of like fade, and I go back and I do my shipping or my listing or photo, whatever I'm doing, and so I don't necessarily interact a ton in the chat. And I felt kind of like, I don't want to say an outsider, but like I knew of everybody else, and it felt very one-sided. And I'm like, I need to actually go. I need to force myself to meet people in person and say hello. And then at least there's a face that goes with the name. It's not just, my little icon, which is a cup of coffee. So like, it's not very, like,
well, you hung out with
very
great
helpful.
Cool kids, Meg. You were with Roman and I.
It was a good time. And actually, you've got Ken on the screen there. Ken was one of the first people from like the whole YouTube realm that I actually said hello to. Prior to that, there was a very nice gentleman named Josh who came up and stood next to me at the bar. And he also knew nobody. So that was really, really helpful to have somebody else who knew nobody. So we could walk into that place together. He was very, very kind. So,
but which Josh? There's like 400.
I know there's a million of them. He's not going to be any of the Joshes that we know. He was an Amazon seller and just happened to,
oh, the one from New York.
No, actually, he's from your area. He's from like the Cincinnati area. He brought his son the second night. So you might have seen, he was one of the people toting around a kid. I felt so bad for his kiddo because I think the kid was really excited about seeing a boat and didn't realize it was going to be hours of being stuck on a boat with adults.
Was that Tucker's dad? Is his name Josh?
No, there were two little kids. Tucker was one of them, and then Josh and his son were there as well. So
you would think I would see people that were my height, so I would have noticed more children.
Yeah,
I just
Lisa.
big shout out. I doubt he's watching, but that was really, really helpful to have him come over and say hi. So I've been forever grateful for that.
Yeah, that's how the friendships and the relationship in terms of even business form. Whenever you meet someone face to face and you wanna, discuss what you do in terms of, even if it's not even reselling or you do like other business. I mean, it's always nice to kind of, meet someone in person, and you can basically see what people have to offer in terms of either business ideas or reselling stuff and stuff about YouTube and the content creation. So it was actually really nice, and it was great time. If Meg remembers, we kind of, I mean, even when everyone was trying to kind of meet everyone, it was not possible.
No, it was cacophony, really. When you first get there, it was a lot of noise. It was a lot of people. It was very overwhelming. But like as you got into it, people were so nice and so kind and so welcoming. And so yeah, like Ken and Jill, fantastic. Like I think had Jill not been there, my week would not have been complete. And then from there, I got to meet Corey and Teresa from Grams and Pops, and hung out with them at dinner. And then I closed everything out with you two. So you were like the little crown and glory there.
Yeah, we were.
Oh. Oh, why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have boots on.
For now, Lisa still has boots on.
It's cold in here. It is cold in here, people.
So cold, guys. It's so cold in Cleveland. Actually,
There's
I think it
boots
is.
on in the house.
I think. What's the temperature today, Meg, in Door County?
Oh, good question. I'm
Like
actually not
-40.
sure. I'm gonna quick look. 18 degrees right now.
Ooh, she's rocking warmer than we are.
Well,
Oh,
actually,
Wisconsin?
I get kind of like weird weather up here since we are on the peninsula. I've got the bay on one side and the lake on the other, so we get a little bit different than the rest of Wisconsin. I also
Yeah,
want to
actually,
give a shout out. I don't know if Richard's still here, but Richard closed that night out with me as well. Like he was hanging out, so just say hi.
yeah,
And Richard's going to trash to cash too to cause more trouble.
Richard is always kind of in the chat, and he is usually, very friendly and hangs around for until 5 in the morning. So we kind of get used to this. But we actually
In
had
person and on the phone.
but we did have a lot of fun. I mean, it was actually, for some reason, I think Saturday, if Lisa remembers, we talked with Joel, American Bubble Boy, until like I think I left, and Lisa and Joel were probably still talking.
There might have been a crack of dawn involved.
I was going to say
I was so tired, Meg, when
I don't
Sunday
think
morning.
I don't think I got back to the room until like 3 or 3:30. So yeah, it was late.
Yeah, I think I'm 20 something today, kind of evening. Yeah, you can't do that much.
Yeah,
but it was special people.
Yeah. You only have, that one night to actually be able to hang out like that. So it was worth it. It was worth being tired the next day.
That's for sure. It was worth it. And even
the rallies aren't long enough.
Even on a boat, I mean, the thing about it is that I watched some YouTube videos about the rally.
Oh, I haven't warned you. And, no, it's okay. This happens every show. If he doesn't free us up with Spectrum at least once, it's not a real show. Don't.
Yes, actually, I actually told Meg on Instagram that due to the weather conditions in Cleveland and how cold it's gonna be, that Spectrum Internet will completely shut down until the spring. But it didn't, guys.
See, I feel lucky to have Spectrum because up by us, if you live a little bit further north, we have almost no kinds of, services. And so they have, for the last 5-6 years, been having little gatherings to discuss whether or not they want to actually do broadband. And then the next year they get together to discuss whether or not they want to do broadband. So there are some places in this area where you have no reception. I had HughesNet when I was living a little bit further north, like just to talk about how awful that is. So I feel blessed to have the Spectrum at this point. I'm grateful for all the glitches.
Spectrum is, I think they just need to rename themselves to just Glitch Network. You know, there are a lot of lives that discuss eBay glitches. I think we need to talk about Spectrum glitches. I think that's actually the worst in terms of how they operate. But they actually, you know, consider to be, in my opinion, they kind of like they're like a monopoly. They just basically operate the way where there is not a lot of options unless you want to switch to Verizon. And there is also WoW in Ohio here. And
Verizon doesn't work up here. We tried that and had no reception at all. So yeah, it's rough, man.
Yeah, it was, guys. Unfortunately,
reselling issues.
I think eBay doesn't have as many glitches, guys, compared to Spectrum.
So I think they're owned by the same people.
I think maybe if possible, if eBay buys Spectrum cable, maybe there are gonna be less glitches. But most likely not, guys. Max was saying, guys, that Max Fast Talking Flipper, he said that when he was in Cleveland, I refused to take him to the bins, which is true, guys. It's a true statement. It was day before Christmas. And I kind of thought if me and Max and Angie, his girlfriend, go to the bins, we may not like that much at that day. So, Max, if you're still here, next time you're in Cleveland, man, I'll take you and Angie to the bins. So we're going to stay there from like 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening. So we're going to spend the whole day there. You can sleep inside of the bin if you want.
Ew. Not your bin.
Oh my God, that's it. Lisa is out now. That's it. We got Simply Shenanigans. Shanna in the house. Shanna, welcome. So, Meg, do you go to Goodwill Bins?
I do. I like the bins. I like them. I know that they can be kind of gross, but I feel like there are so many like opportunities there. There's so much treasure. But my bins is also an hour and a half away from me, so I have to actually make a day out of it, and it needs to be part of a plan. So I don't get there very frequently. And since I am mostly a bookseller, my favorite places are actually like library book sales. So I'm constantly stalking those. And I get to the bins if I just happen to be driving that direction, and I kind of am able to sneak off and do that for a little bit.
So in terms of books, do you guys have a lot of good books at your bin store that you find?
Not a ton. And that's why I think I really don't go there as often as I used to. I find a lot of really kind of interesting hard goods and stuff. So I still like going because I still like selling hard goods, and they sell glass and breakables there for like next to nothing. I think it's like 10 cents a pound or something like that. And because I like glass and breakables, that's kind of a place where I'll hover because you can get some really inexpensive and interesting pieces. The books are hit or miss. I feel like a lot of what's there is kind of like, you know, newer, but well-worn paperbacks and just things I'm not super interested in. Like I've had fairly good luck with one of our auction companies up here, but even that is like almost an hour away from me. So I have to also decide whether or not it's worth bidding on something, because then I know I have to drive down the next day and get the stuff. But I've found some good book hauls from bidding on an auction. I had one that was a clean out of a chiropractor's house. So old chiropractic books did phenomenally well. And then another one was an estate where the lady had been a fiber artist. So she did a lot of weaving, and she had a lot of really interesting and unique weaving books that were from like the 60s and 70s. So like those kinds of things are more my style. It's hard to find all that at the bins.
Yeah, and especially like if Alex is here, Alex from Erie that I was talking about, we actually were at the bins yesterday, and I found like they brought out a new bin with books, and I just found some kind of older cookbook, which was like Greek recipes cookbook. And I just basically kind of used, it didn't have a barcode, so I just took a photo of it with eBay app. and it came up and it was selling for almost $50. And there were sold comps around 60, 40. So like sometimes those types of older books, especially you guys know cookbooks or any type of like, you know, something that have to do with either like, you know, it has to be like threading or some kind of something that you create, some kind of books that are with unusual type of subjects. They, especially older ones, they actually will sell, or some sell for decent amounts. And I know I've sold those types of books like for decent amounts in the past. So I will check just to make sure some of the books, because you know, Meg, most likely you know that because you do like selling books. Most likely you've seen people just go to look at the books when they bring them out in the bins, and sometimes people just kind of don't go through all the books. They will just kind of leave the books in the bin, and they're not gonna even bother, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because people, I mean, because what happens is I've noticed people who try to look up books using just a barcode on the back. It's, of course, it's an easier way to do it. But if you're not going to be lazy, you can actually, you know,
Mm-hmm.
try to take a photo either with Google Lens or just with an eBay app, just using a picture option, and it's gonna come up, and you will see that some of those older books, they actually have value, and sometimes you'll be surprised at how much some of them sell for.
I
And
feel like the older books really are overlooked. It's such a good market, and I don't feel like you can really even step on another seller's toes with that, because if I tell you today, like, you know, my top 5 most expensive books, the likelihood of anybody else A, finding it, and B, listing it at the same time as me, you know, and there are so many things that go into the books that there's plenty of them out there for all of us. Like my most expensive book, and I'm tell y'all, keep your eyes peeled for this one, because if you find it, it's a winner. The first edition copy of The Princess Bride. That book looks like a whole lot of nothing, but it was published in the late 70s. It's a bright red book. I sold that book for like $700. So, I mean,
that is crazy. Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, there are books that even worth more than that.
right. No, there are some very expensive books out there. The thing is books can be really long tail. So you have to know that you are going to be sitting on them for a while. It's a niche market. Apparently I have my phone volume on.
I think one of the books started to talk.
I put myself on do not disturb, but a text message just came in from Mercari telling me that I sold something.
Well,
So
selling it much,
Congratulations.
yeah, that was my phone making some noises here.
That's nice. That's whenever you sell something, it's always good.
We sold a book. We sold a veterinary manual.
Oh,
so, yeah.
how appropriate, nice. Since our little fur kids come to visit.
Exactly.
And Roman has an invisible cat. He swears he has one.
Yeah, she doesn't like to be. I have a Persian cat, and she's very moody. Like she actually, like, she doesn't like when someone picks her up all the time. Like she likes to be like independent. So when I try to hold her for more than like 20 seconds, she starts to try to run away.
So I have the cat bed on my desk right next to me, because otherwise they are in my face constantly, which is why every once in a while you see a tail coming through, because they're settling into the little bed. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing more of that, but I have found that is very helpful, because mine don't love to be held either, but they want to be like in my face all the time. Just real quick, my husband asked me if I would do my Wisconsin accent, because it's been noted that I don't necessarily have a Wisconsin accent. Although if you catch me coming around a corner, I will say, "Oh, that whole Charlie Barron's thing, that is real. We all say "ope." But when I lived in South Carolina, my roommates used to make me say, let me see if I even have. No, I don't think I even have it here. But Post-it notes was the thing that they made me say all the time, because I would always say, "Oh, can you just hand me those Post-it notes?" And it came out with such a ridiculous, like, that was the most Wisconsin thing I could say.
See, I always just think of the movie Strange Brew. I mean, when you want
But
the
that's so
Wisconsin.
Canada. That's the thing, is like Canadians and Wisconsinites. I don't know if you watch, oh my gosh, who was I watching the other day? Josh. One of the many Joshes.
Which one? You really need
There are a lot of Joshes, guys.
There are a
in
lot
the
of
reseller
Joshes.
community.
The Canadian Josh.
Oh,
Josh
Josh
Galt.
Galt.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna put his channel on the chat, guys.
He's the only Josh in Canada. So
He's
That's
only
Canadian Josh.
Josh Galt.
But he said something the other day about how the accent in Canada is very similar to accent in like Wisconsin and Michigan, and I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong. Like,
yeah, Josh actually, Megas, he's got a lot of knowledge, and in terms of that's why he does, I mean, those lives every day almost of the week about glitches and policies and stuff like that. I usually go into his life to try to kind of joke around a lot. And his and John and Jenna, that's why one of my favorite lives where I try to joke around a lot, because there are people that go there for a reason, to learn about policies, about changes, about glitches. And I usually come in and start saying that nothing sells on eBay, there is always nothing will get fixed and stuff like that. So
yeah.
but I'm usually kind of bringing that kind of joking side to that all seriousness of how it is. But it is serious stuff, of course. People trying to make a living, people trying to sell stuff, find out if there are any issues that came up that particular day on eBay, any policy changes and stuff like that. But Josh actually and John, Flipping Ain't Easy, John and Jenna, and they do. I actually put a link for you guys in the chat, Power Hour podcast, which I actually, Meg, watched the one from today with Pete Craigslist Hunter, guys. And
I didn't get a chance to watch that one yet.
That is, I recommend you guys, if you haven't watched it, please watch it. It is really good. And I always said it before that Pete brings out this proper, and it's for me. There are gonna be people that disagree or agree, but he knows about things that is he's very knowledgeable in things in terms of business, not just reselling in YouTube and stuff like that. So you guys check it out. It was very good podcast episode. And like I said, I watched it all the way. It was very good and a lot of good information. So I'm not sponsored by Power Hour Podcast, guys, just in case.
Sure, you're not.
The Power Hour guys are great, though. That's another couple of folks I forgot to even mention. Like, man, Cincinnati. I spent a lot of time with John and Jenna, and holy cow, what genuine nice humans. Like that was a really, really nice couple to get to meet.
They're very down to earth. They're very real. Yeah. We all were kind of hanging together, and Roman was entertaining them and all of us at dinner.
Yeah, especially Archie Biscuit Butt, one of my
Archie.
good reselling businessman from Las Vegas, Nevada. I think Archie probably owns half of Las Vegas. He just doesn't tell anyone. So
I got to do lunch with Archie after the rally. He's fun.
Gee, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous too. I didn't have a chance to have a lunch with Archie.
Yes, but you got to spend the night with him.
Ooh.
We all know the relationship that came out of that.
Unfortunately, Archie decided he was kind of trying to do everything in the same night. And I told him I'm not like that. We have to go on the dates first. So that's unfortunately, guys. After that, Archie kind of excluded himself. He said, I'm not like that. He said, I need to do it the first night. So after that, I said, sorry, man, we cannot do it. So after
you guys and all the roofies and then, humping on the floor. We all know. Go back a few episodes and get the rundown from the rally.
It was very difficult, but we kind of came to the agreement that we'll have to date first before we do anything else. Sorry, guys. Everyone in the chat is probably shocked right now, especially Archie. What's the dog's name?
This is Ray. She acted as though she wanted to get up here, but you can see that she is very not sure about this.
Yeah, she kind of probably she's looking at me like, who is this guy?
To be on the show? No, she doesn't want to be on the show.
Does she resell?
She walked to the post office with me today. They have a big sign on the door that says that you can only have service animals, but they make exceptions and she's allowed to go in.
Nice. That's actually, I actually respect a lot. I mean, whenever like businesses and stores allow, service dogs to, uh, go into the store or like anywhere where they're allowed to go in. I mean, it's very respectful for businesses, in my opinion. And a lot of businesses do that actually. Originally, I thought like they have to like post certain, notifications on the doors or notices about who can walk in and who cannot. But I think a lot of businesses allow it nowadays, and it's really good in terms of, in my opinion, it's very good of those businesses and places that you can walk in with a service dog because people need it, and it is respectful when businesses allows this. So Meg, in terms of like, what is in terms of eBay, what type of except the books, like what is your other things that you like to try to find and source and resell? What are the other favorite type of stuff that you like?
I usually just call them my fragiles. So it's anything that is breakable. So glass and ceramic, porcelain, and that could be figurines, that could be bowls, that could be plates. I've shipped full china sets before. There are some that are still worth money, although I'm sitting on one that I've had here for way too long that might get donated pretty fast here because I kind of want the shelf space back. But yeah, just things like that. I find it really interesting. That was another thing during the pandemic. I started checking out books from the local library from a lot of or related to a lot of different things like, McCoy. And I'm trying to look over here because I've got a whole shelf full of different books here, like Depression Glass and Fiesta and, on and on and on. So if it's breakable, I probably will look at it. Although I'm trying to get much better about my price point, because I think when I first started, it was, if I like it, everyone will like it. And
we all do that.
yeah, right. So the number of things that were on the shelf because I like it. Yeah. Or yeah, you hear all the time, like, well, it's old. And it's like, that doesn't make it valuable. Also, rare doesn't make it valuable. We can put that out there too.
Oh, that's a hard one to get people to comprehend, and especially it's old. It's got to be valuable. No, how many were made? What's the desirability? Tastes. I mean,
my husband collected arcade games for a few years, and so we had a basement just full of arcade games. I think at one point in time, and if he's still here, he can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say 48. We might have had 48 arcade games in the basement. And man, rare does not mean that it's worth anything. Like the number of games that are rare because they stunk and nobody wanted to play them, that was a big one. And trying to, get somebody to understand that their arcade game was not worth $500. That was like a $50 cabinet that we were going to take the innards out of and put a new game into. And that just, I feel like that's so much of what we deal with nowadays too, is what people put their value on when it's not necessarily worth it.
Yeah, that's in terms of breakables. I think that's actually, there are so many breakables around that you're gonna find, and you have to have experience and knowledge. Of course, there are sellers who only sell breakables and have a lot of experience in selling that stuff and know certain, either brands or styles and artists who created certain pieces. But it is like one of those categories as any in reselling, that if you kind of niche down to it and learn about it, there is money in that particular category, like with like any type of collectible stuff like figurines that are made either of ceramic or porcelain and other materials, glass. And from watching YouTube content creators who sell breakables, glass, and those types of collectibles items, you can learn about those types of things that are valuable to look for, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of them, different ones. And even me, I got experience with just noticing right away certain things right now, and some of those things you have to also learn that. Or notice that some of the stuff can be chipped or cracked. Some of the newer resellers who try to uh, like buy different breakable items don't notice this kind of stuff right away. And with experience, as with any other things in terms of any category, you will learn and will start noticing those types of things right away. In my opinion,
Mhm.
that's why it comes with experience, of course, with any type of product. So, but that is nice in terms of books that you like to sell books, and we had booksellers on our live, Samantha and Alex, Beard King Picker, and Samantha Bell Resells. They also concentrate a lot on selling books, and it's kind of getting right now, which is interesting that on our live right now we had kind of already three resellers that
Your
like.
books are heavy here. Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like you found your niche now.
and I actually, yeah, I sold a set of Harry Potter books today. It was three Harry Potter, like it was not a complete series of those books, but it was three books that sold fairly fast. So I actually get books and I sell books. It's
I
not
don't
one.
I don't know if Ken is still here, but I know he and Jill were questioning whether or not they should sell an encyclopedia set. And
Oh,
I
back to
said,
the encyclopedia game. Okay.
yeah. So I said to go for it. I don't know if they actually put it up there, but um I love selling encyclopedias, but again, you need the space in order to hang on to them because they do sometimes take a while to sell. They sell pretty well over Christmas time. But I honest to God, you guys, my best sale this week was an encyclopedia set and it sold on Bonanza.
Oh,
Now
that's
that
one.
is obscure. What?
That's one of my favorite platforms that I don't sell on, but I like Bonanza. Bonanza is like one of those platforms that is very popular. You know, it's like you cannot, with that name, I'm surprised, guys, that Bonanza didn't get such great credit for having one of the greatest names in terms of platforms to be like worldwide known. You know, it has to be, in my opinion, Bonanza needs to step it up and become next eBay.
A one sale a month platform. But books, props, Megs, that's something crazy there.
Yeah. For the longest time, my postal folks here actually only knew me as the media mail gal because I was coming in with books constantly, and I'm there every single day. I actually picked up a side hustle for our local pharmacy, so I'm a drug runner. I actually I pick up their prescriptions every week and take them to the post office for them because they do like a mail out service. And I'm like, I'm already going to the post office. So I stop over there and I pick their things up. So now the girls really know me because I have to be there every day with the stuff for the pharmacy. So I now have a name. I'm not just media mail gal, which is nice.
That's good to know. Also, you know, it's nice. It's a good thing to know. But let me say hello to Christopher Nutter in the house. Christopher Nutter, guys. Whenever I see what type of stuff Christopher posts on his Instagram that he finds and resells, that kind of stuff, guys, is something you're gonna be making good money on. Believe me, because Christopher finds like really every time I watch his Facebook sales sales that he posts on Facebook or Instagram, it's just incredible type of things that are like selling for really good money. So Chris, props to you, man, for like finding this kind of stuff like consistently. He does it all the time and posts it. And Chris, if he had a YouTube channel, I think it would have, in my opinion, probably would have taken off. But I think Chris will most likely concentrate on reselling and finding stuff to resell instead of spending time on YouTube. Chris, you can correct me, man, in the chat. Also, we got Sal's Mercado in the house, Salvador in the house. Sal, welcome. Appreciate you all stopping by. Vintage Ivan in the house, Vintage Vani also that likes to sell vintage stuff. That's why she's vintage. And that's why, like, um, whenever Meg, like, if you notice, like, there are so many content creators that make so many different variety of videos with things they sell. That's currently, and actually it was mentioned today in a Power Hour podcast that right now it is easier for new resellers to kind of start their go into eBay or any other platform, because right now there is so much information on
Mhm.
YouTube from different content creators to the stuff that they find and stuff that they resell, how much it sells for, all those applications on the phone that you can use the phone to look stuff up, compared to like some of the resellers who were starting out in the late 90s, mid 90s. There was no such information,
Mhm.
and it was much more complicated unless you made a lot of mistakes to learn about everything. So of course now that's because with social media and YouTube and all this content right now, it is easier for new resellers to go in and try to at least do it part time, at least to kind of have a feel about it and see if they like it or not. And during pandemic, of course, a lot more people tried to go into the game either part time or full time because of the pandemic. And at the time when there was time to create so many YouTube videos, it was convenient, and do that. And some channels grew and some channels didn't. So it is what it is. But it is kind of interesting in terms of books for me and breakables, because I do actually find that stuff and I buy that stuff and resell that stuff. So I don't kind of shy away from any type of products, as Lisa knows, right, Lisa? We kind of even clothing, which I don't like that much at all. That's least
Ugh, I
favorite.
loathe clothing.
That's my
Mhm.
least favorite, but I actually recently at the bins, especially if you go to the Goodwill bins, I mean, and Meg, probably you agree with me, like if you go to the bins, what are your prices, Meg, in your local bin store per pound?
I want to say last time I was there, it was like $1.58 a pound for clothing. They'll do individual prices on some of the larger items. I know electronics had their own category, and books, man, I want to say books were like maybe $1 a pound. Um, yeah, it kind of ranges. But yeah,
But
it's hard to go to the bins and not pick up clothing. And I think that's one of the reasons, like I said, I just don't go as much anymore, because I know that the clothing will sit. Like I have a pile of clothing in the other room that I did my drafts for before I left for the rally. And I still haven't taken pictures of them yet. They are in the other room, just sitting there waiting. That is how much I hate that clothing and don't want to deal with it. So if I'm going to get clothing, it better be worth my time, because I hate it.
so, like, in terms of like, but you do buy clothing, right? You still, I mean,
I still do. I kick myself in the behind when I do it, but yeah, I still do.
and in terms of, yeah, that's a thing for me too. Like right now, recently, I haven't, unless I go to garage sale where I find like mostly sports stuff, because I like sports jerseys and like different university type of hoodies was like associated with sports teams. So
Mhm.
like if you go to the bins, you find that stuff a lot, because I mean they bring out bin after bin after bin full of clothing. So if you dig good enough, I mean you're gonna find some really good stuff. Like like one of my reseller friends, like yesterday when I went to the bin, she found Hermes, that French brand,
Mhm.
Hermes.
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 Hermes, guys. That's a bolo brand, guys. Hermes. Was my
I got some
pronunciation
of
is
that.
not correct. But guys, Hermes, she found a scarf, Hermes scarf, and we looked it up, and it was selling for almost $200.
Yeah,
And it was,
those scarves, $200 to $300 easy.
yeah,
I've got.
and it weighs nothing. So when you find it at the Goodwill
Mhm.
bins, it's like you're paying like maybe 20 cents for that
How did
stuff.
that make it to the bins? How? If that's real.
It
Oh, and
was, we checked with another, there was a knowledgeable reseller at the bins that knows about them. I mean, not just Hermes, but purses and stuff like that. And she actually looked at it also. They both kind of knowledgeable. And they
I've sold
that
maybe
was real.
three or four Hermes scarves. And the first one I found, I was shocked. I was in Appleton, Wisconsin, which is
that seems like a bizarre place to find Hermes.
it was not a place that I expected to find it, and it was just mixed in with all the other scarves on like this, big scarf display. I think people don't know what it is. Like they don't think about something like that being valuable, right? And so it just gets stuck in with everything else.
Yeah, and usually the funny thing about that you mentioned it, Meg, is that vintage kids, they miss a lot of stuff. They miss so many good brands.
Those
So they mostly concentrate on finding T-shirts with like those tags that are vintage tags or single stitch. So they actually try to go through the bins very fast. So when they're trying to go through the bins very fast, they just don't dig on the over, like they don't dig towards the bottom. So they also, some of the good stuff sometimes is all the way on the bottom of the bin. So they just don't do it because they're just going fast, because they try to get to as many bins as possible to just pick out like anything that they see may be valuable. And I told this on our last live, is that they don't even look at what they're getting. They just grab it and they just pull it over their shoulder, and that's it. They just don't even look at it. They just go to their cart and then they start looking at it, and then they put stuff back because it's not valuable. So they just don't look deep enough, or they just don't concentrate on looking like through. So
it's okay by me. I mean, I prefer not to be one of those people that rushes the fresh bin, because I know that other stuff is going to be in there. So I'll let everybody throw elbows and fight for their t-shirts if they want them, because there's good stuff that's buried. Also, I have to say, seeing some of the bins that are out there, people get nuts. The Wisconsin bins, people are polite. We don't have that. So if anybody's scared to go to bins, come to Wisconsin, because everybody is going to be very kind and nice. They will still rush the bin to get in there, but nobody's like, punching you or shoving you out of the way. Or I know Jenna got hit with a cart once on her heels. Like none of that stuff.
yeah, and our Cleveland bins, Lisa also noticed, except the time when I actually didn't see it, that
that little monster
coming after you.
Someone took a t-shirt out of her hands. I didn't see it, but it will happen because the behavior of some people in the bins, it is gonna be kind of similar, where you see it in other bin stores where they try to kind of snatch something from you even before you have a chance to even grab it. Because I mean, that's like it's not I will always say that's not a normal behavior, but the people who rely, in my opinion, on reselling full time, they just don't kind of they disregard those manners,
I
in
don't
my
know, man.
opinion.
It's like a scarcity mindset. And that's why I'm saying there's enough for everybody. Like there's no way that me telling you a handful of, bolos from the book, industry is going to somehow mean that I can't make a living anymore. Like people need to get over that scarcity mindset. There is always going to be more stuff. There's always going to be something valuable out there to resell. It's just a matter of looking for it.
And yeah, that's, I mean, if you take time, but it isn't, of course, you cannot compare certain bin stores in certain cities to other bin stores that are going to be like Alex, who was in the chat, the one that comes to our bins from Erie. He said that when he goes to the bins in Pittsburgh, PA, those bins, he said, like there are many more people, and they actually stand shoulder to shoulder. So they basically bring out the bin, and people basically standing shoulder to shoulder. And
out of my personal space, I couldn't do that.
That's how crazy it gets. But it is one of the sourcing places for what I call true full-time resellers. If you're full-time reseller, that's why some of the, I told Lisa knows this, those vintage kids, they will come in early in the morning, like whenever the store opens at 8 a.m. and they will stay there until the last rotation, almost at 5 or 4:30, and then when they leave, basically. But they will stand there every day, every day. We don't go like every other day. They will be there every day, and that's why they get bunch of clothing. They'll get like 2 carts full of clothing, and they do whatnot, and that's why some of that stuff on whatnot that they will sell, and there are other, as you know, guys know, content creators that do whatnot all the time, and that's the fastest way to move that inventory. But even me asking at our Goodwill bins if there are like certain resellers that go there every day, if they do whatnot, there is a like couple that do whatnot, others don't at all. Some like most other resellers sell on platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Depop, so they actually don't do whatnot. And
I tried one whatnot show. I had scheduled probably 3 or 4 of them. I did one, and sold nothing.
Oh,
Not a single thing.
What'd you
And I was like, I don't know that this is for me. Like it felt very like I was very on the spot. And because I didn't have, somebody else there with me, it's not like there was a co-host or anything. I just felt like I was talking into the void. That felt very awkward. I'm like, maybe
I do it every
someday I'd
week.
try it again. But ooh.
yeah, I mean, and I said it before for the whatnot and district right now with sellers on the district and different kind of subgroups on the district. I mean, it's still, I mean, if you do live selling, there is of course important factors that you will need certain following or you need to get rated. And even if you get rated, I mean, you will have to run giveaways. You'll have to kind of attract the crowd because it is kind of one of those selling platforms that require you to be kind of entertaining, kind of, show that you're willing to do giveaways like every like certain amount of sales. And so basically you need to be prepared to have everything ready and listed for auctions and stuff like that. So, and also you also have to know that stuff that you're gonna do like first probably 10 shows, you're most likely not gonna be making a lot of money. So
I was totally prepared to make no money. You know what I mean? Like I was totally prepared to go in and be basically giving things away. And I was ready with some giveaways and then just nothing, not a single bid. And I'm like, okay, like I know that I don't have the world's best stuff, but I also don't have absolute garbage. So I was like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was going to be the space for me, but I'd be willing to revisit it at some point.
yeah, I actually, the funny thing is, Meg, I got a message from whatnot employee or manager, I don't know, like a couple days ago, and he's like texted me saying, "You didn't do your first whatnot show yet. What's going on?" And I'm like, I replied to him, I said, I didn't do it yet because I don't have inventory to do it for my preference of the profits I would like to make. Like I don't want to put like stuff that I find at the bins right now, at least the stuff that I like to find to resell on whatnot, because it's not gonna bring me profits that I'm looking for. So there is like it's gonna be kind of stupid for me to do it. That's why I said I will do it, but only like whenever I have like certain inventories that I like to kind of run and do whatnot with. So like right now I said I just don't have that kind of inventory because I don't have that kind of a big bulk of stuff that I can put on whatnot. And Meg, did you do whatnot with clothing, or you tried to do also books?
Say that one more time.
Did you try to do show on whatnot with books or clothing?
Oh no, actually I was doing plush. I had a bunch of plush that I figured it wasn't really anything that I was interested in listing at this point. I had done plush in the past and I still have some listed in my store, but I was just I was finding things that I thought would be kind of fun to sell. So a lot of Disney plush and things like that. But yeah, nobody went for it.
And how many people did you have that first show in whatnot? How many people show up?
Oh, a rotating amount. I think the most that were in there at one time was like 3 people. and I had one or two folks that stopped by to say hi just to be supportive, but like they weren't looking to buy plush. They were just looking to say hello, just to be kind.
Yeah, for me, like I'm kind of sometimes surprised, like because I do go to support other whatnotters, like I call them whatnotters, and try to kind of either send them a tip because I mean it's not an easy like with anything, it's not that easy to set up the entire show, prepare all the inventory, all set up all
Mhm.
they deserve to, if you go there, at least from my point of view, I mean, it's great to support them that way, to send some kind of tip or buy something. But it was always kind of interesting for me personally is that Plush sells on Whatnot, and there are different Whatnot sellers who do Whatnot shows only with Plush.
Mhm.
They sell like bunch of Plush, and it's always kind of plush category for me. It's kind of always surprises me a little bit because I cannot understand, like there are people that there are so many things that you need in your life, in my opinion, to buy for yourself, but plush for me is
But
like,
you gotta have it. You gotta forget that car payment.
yeah, it's like forget all the bills, the plush is more important. It's like something, in my opinion, it's just something, one of those products, even
I
when
don't get
something,
it either.
even if you sell it on eBay or any other platform, it's always kind of interesting, especially for good money, because as you
Mhm.
know, some plush sell for really good money. And people who have like definitely people who have a decent amount of money that don't worry about paying bills or don't worry about anything of other value, they will just spend money on a plush. That's like no problem for them. But it's understandable. I mean, there are people that have certain amount of money they like to spend on certain things, like collectibles, either with figurines or like collectible diecast cars or collectible action figures. They'll spend certain amount of money. I've sold those things before, worth $300, $400, $500, and you think
Mhm.
about it, like why would someone buy like this figurine for $500? What is it gonna be in the box all their life?
I think for me too, like when I first realized that people were selling used plush on eBay, I was just grossed out because I was thinking about like all the all the children
Little
fingers that
kids.
have touched it and
Yeah.
like places that it has landed. And I'm like, that just sounds gross to me. Whereas something like a figurine, I can wash that a lot easier. Now,
Lysol is your friend.
right. Well, and now at this point, I've thrown pretty much every plush that's ever crossed this threshold into the washing machine.
Oh, I've got
So,
pound puppies, and you pick them
oh
up by
yeah,
its and just go, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So now that I know how to clean them properly, it's not as big of a deal. But when I first heard that, I was just like, oh, gross. Who is buying that?
Let me say hello to people who came in. Guys, if you're just coming in, we got special guest Meg, Lilac Seller in the house, guys. And let me say hello to Archie Biscuitbot, owner of Las Vegas. Let me say hello to Bill Resell, Samantha
He's
in the
working on
house.
it.
We got Desiree in the house, good, great, fabulous. And Gino's Finds, guys. Gino, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you all guys hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it, and thanks for stopping by today. And if you got any questions, guys, for Meg in the chat, I know I'm kind of always behind, but if you got specific questions, please put them in the chat. Hopefully, we're gonna get to them.
You don't know how often we'll get Meg to come out from her little dark purple basement.
From Door County, we never know how when Meg will come out from Door County.
It's a lovely area. Y'all can just come visit. It's
Y'all,
very touristy.
hey, don't steal my word. Y'all come
I
back now.
I got that word. I got that word. Since this is a reseller show, kind of,
I've heard that rumor,
I've
but I
heard
don't
that.
know. Okay.
Can I just show you today? Like, I'm going to show you a bolo, you guys.
Guys, let's see the bolo.
Hello.
So this is an enormous cookie cutter, and I found it with its friend. And these are Martha Stewart. They looked unlike any other cookie cutters I had ever seen, and they've got like writing on the handle. They say "Man in the Moon," and the other one is "Starlight, Starbright." But as a set, these can sell between $60 and $100.
How many pieces are there?
So this particular set is just the 2, but it looked like there were other kinds out there, and they are vintage. But I'd never seen anything like it. They're copper cookie cutters, and I picked them up for $1 a piece at my local thrift. So if you guys ever see these, look at how huge this is. I mean, it's enormous.
That's interesting. Yeah, guys. So bolo for you. See from Meg. So learn it, guys.
$1,600. I just was quite shocked by that.
But that's interesting. So is that like what's the weight? How much they weigh?
Let's find out. I got the scale back here.
So we're gonna know all the details, guys. So whenever you go sourcing and find the stuff, you can bring a scale with you and weigh them right on the store, guys. So it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, I gotta. There we go.
I think it's if they weigh
just under 10 ounces total.
But is that packed?
That's
I'd
not
say
bad.
Not packed.
So,
I would call it 2 pounds packed.
Did you list them already, or you're?
No. The table next to me is actually all the stuff I need to start putting into the drafts and then go take pictures of.
And Archie Biscuit Butt is always smart, guys, with his comments. He said, should have done this live during Browns game, not Chiefs. Yeah, guys, as you know, Archie Biscuit Butt is a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. So unfortunately, Archie, I know that I'm taking your time away from watching this important game in the cold weather. I think Archie is in the stands today, guys, watching this game at Kansas City where it's like minus 50 degrees right now. That's why he probably froze. So in terms of other hobbies, do you like to travel? I know most likely do you like to travel to different?
I do like to travel. I like to do solo travel in the States. I'm not great at something like that if I'm going abroad because I get really, really nervous about not knowing the language. But I've done my fair share of traveling abroad. One of my sisters actually lives in Spain right now, and the other one is living in Canada. So I do get to cross borders once in a while, which is kind of fun.
They took my passport.
And I know you actually, Meg, I think you drove to Reseller Rally, right?
I did. And I don't know if you know Alicia, the inked picker. She had actually slept out in their truck or their van. And I wish I would have known that right away because I spent the first night in my car and we could have parked next to each other and been buddies. I do a lot of car camping. So it was much more affordable than doing more nights in a hotel.
I actually slept in a bathtub the first night I was down at the rally. I'm not.
Was that a choice in advance?
No, it was a preservation kind of thing because it had a lock on the door.
Was there water?
Nope, just a comforter and little teeny me. I'm perfect to stick in a bathtub or a trunk. I'm easy like that, guys.
Oh,
run with that.
Going back to talking about the lie. I don't want you in a trunk. That sounds terrible.
But that's actually that's kind of scary, Lisa. We don't know exactly how did you end up in the bathtub. But I
walked in there and closed the door and said, "This is it.
That's gonna be. I'll stay here." But
I'll take the cold enamel. I'm gonna go see a bunch of great people in the morning. All right. That's how I'm gonna do this.
There are so many comments, guys. I'm really sorry that I'm always sorry that I'm so way behind. I feel so bad all the time about it because there are so many interesting comments. Especially, I'm reading some comments from Reseller Franklin that are just hilarious about cooking, about other things, which are not reseller related, guys.
Eureka, he's always good for those other comments to spice stuff up. I'm paying attention to the chat. I know what's going on down in here.
That's me,
taking care of business.
That's my behavior usually. Like
what's going on. Trust me, Meg. It's not business.
It's always business related with Reseller Franklin, guys, as you know. And Soda City Flip Shane actually, guys, was live today earlier. He did a listing live, and I was in his live while I was in the bar and watching.
I was sleeping.
But Shane actually put a comment. I don't know anyone either, but they're about to learn who I am in Orlando. So as you guys know, Shane is going to trash to cash, guys. He will try to find some trash and get some cash in Orlando. So he's going for a trash to cash meetup, and he will find some, interesting celebrities at that meetup. So he will let us know, guys, later in his videos who he will find at that meetup. Hopefully, he'll find someone famous.
Is anybody here going to Planes to Profit?
Actually,
Anybody
let
in
me
the chat?
put,
Anybody?
guys, put in the chat if you are going to Planes to Profit meetup in end of February that is organized by Grams and Pops, Alicia, and Happy and Grumpy Pickers, Kyle and Lori. Let us know in the chat because I was are you going, Meg?
I bought a ticket. Yeah.
I heard that you're going, so I was just double checking that you're gonna be there. So are you driving? Yeah, well, you're probably driving.
No, I actually looked at driving versus flying, and it seems like flying is going to be a better option for me. I prefer driving, but the amount of time it was going to take, I think it's like a 9.5 hour drive for me.
9.5.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, driving there and back, especially when you don't know what weather's going to be like in February. So I'm going to fly.
Especially in Nebraska. Yeah, especially in Nebraska. We don't know how cold it's going to get.
Yeah.
Like today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well, and
It's
driving in that
Nebraska.
kind of wind that can happen, I'm like,
Yeah, but
no.
the thing is, how long did it take you to get to Cincinnati? How long was the drive?
I want to say that was probably around 8 hours, but I also made that into like a big round trip. I have an uncle that lives in Nashville, or not Nashville, but in Tennessee, not too far outside of Nashville. And then I've got an aunt that's in Indiana, and my best friend moved down to North Carolina this past year. So I just made it into a big circle. So I went to Cincinnati, Tennessee, North Carolina, back up through Indiana, and then back home. So for me, it kind of made it worth it. But this time around, I don't really have all that much family between here and Nebraska. So flying seems like a better option.
Yeah, that's for me too. Like I was thinking about it. Like I don't know yet. I may think about it next week if I may. But because I actually like to drive, and if I would have driven there, I would not have driven through Chicago because I know how Chicago gets in terms of traffic. So I would actually bypass Chicago and go around. I know the other route because I used to drive to Omaha before in a truck from Cleveland. So I know the other route, which is a similar amount of time to drive there, same amount, but you bypass Chicago entirely. You basically go through Illinois, but only in the south part of Illinois. So you kind of go from in Ohio, you drive south, and then you go through southern Illinois instead of going in the north part.
That is like the most boring drive, though. Like going through those specific areas.
And you better take CDs with you because when you're in Western Ohio, it's all Bible religious stuff and there's no music. It's creepy. It is children of the, I am not kidding, chat. It is children of the corn kind of stuff. I mean, right up there. As soon as you get past Mansfield, heading to the Illinois border, no, that's creepy.
Yeah, like
That's
it is actually. Let me say hello to Matt's Profits Pursuits. Matt, welcome. We got Kim T in the house, guys. Welcome. If you're just coming in, Meg is in the house. Lilac Seller. Put all the information for her YouTube channel and Instagram, social media in the description. And let me say hello to Harry Hamstone in the house, guys. Harry always comes in and supports us. And as you guys know, we got great support, and I always forget to say it, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in, supporting me and Lisa every weekend on Saturday. It means a lot to us. And we're trying, especially I'm trying my best to catch up to the chat, which is going to be impossible anyway. But
remember my job here, Roman.
But guys, it doesn't mean that I'm disregarding your comments. It's just I'm very slow, guys.
No, I'm here to disregard their comments. Right.
But yeah, guys. So and the game right now, I'm pretty sure Richard is watching Chiefs and Miami Dolphins most likely play And for Planes to Profit, actually, the thing is, guys, I'm pretty sure they still have tickets available right now. So I put their website for Planes to Profit in the chat. If you're interested still, if you want to get a ticket, I'm pretty sure that there are tickets still available, so you can purchase it and go. I mean, it's gonna be very any type of meetup, as Meg remembers the rally, and Lisa, of course, and we had great time. Any type of meetup, it's like great. Like for me, like it was fun to just talk to other people, resellers. Doesn't mean if they even resell. Well, some of the people come there as to meet other like celebrity YouTubers, for example. So like it is what it is, but it is exciting in terms of you know just speaking to people and asking questions about different things. If you had a chance to try to speak to everyone, which was impossible, that's why
Mhm.
those types of meetups, when you can go, if you have a chance to go, it's a great chance to kind of go with other resellers, hang out with them, go to source with them to the beans, because at Planes to Profits they're planning to go take a big bus and go sourcing to the beans there, so it's kind of fun. In
I'm
my
still wondering
opinion.
if they're serious that there's a stripper pole on that bus. They said that. I'm just
Ooh, I don't remember hearing about that.
yeah, I think it was Lori said.
Guys, there is a
Oh
possibility.
man,
Guys, there is a possibility of a stripper
cheeky.
pole in a bus. So you're gonna have to pay a little bit extra for a stripper. For a stripper.
You
Guys,
know,
sorry.
it's our coworker hangout. We don't have the Christmas party, so we have
Yeah,
to go and do that.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm athletic enough to deal with that.
We have
Most of the people are over 40. I don't think that anybody's.
guys, we're gonna find out how much extra will it cost us to get on a pole. But for right, for
Oh,
right
you were
now,
talking to the wrong room, Roman. You just lit a fire.
I think,
Oh, no.
I think that we're talking about we're not talking about reselling anymore.
Were we ever?
What's the cost? What's the cost of the scrap of brass? There you go. Now we can write off the whole convention because we talked about work. There you go.
Yeah, and there is like Shane just put a comment in right there, which I read, which I kind of bypassed. I think I skipped it, but Harry Hamstone says, "You're okay, Cleveland. We'll make it through this." Cleveland already, I think, in my opinion, throughout so many years of heartbreaking losses, already kind of, in a way, got used to this kind of situation. It's just,
Now I can't sell it.
No, you're gonna be okay. It's still gonna sell. There is still gonna be following. People still gonna buy brown stuff. I'm pretty sure about it. But the thing about it here, if you're still here, I didn't expect them to lose in such a fast fashion in about almost 3 minutes. The game was over basically in third quarter in 3 minutes. That was done. That was
Yeah,
unexpected.
it was over all right.
The way it was starting out, I just didn't see this particular situation. It was kind of very unusual that they just gave up. That shows character, but it is what it is. So in terms of Meg, in terms of like eBay and stuff like that, for example, what was I always ask it on a live, what type of item was the most expensive ever that you've sold? Do you remember?
Oh man, it probably is that Princess Bride book. I don't think I've surpassed that yet. Although I have a piece of art on the wall right next to me that I fell in love with. You should never fall in love with your inventory. But I'm absolutely in love with this. If I could figure out how to bring it down here and show you, I would. But it's this piece by a Palestinian artist who was named Sophie Chalabi. And she was a painter back in like the 60s and 70s. She's since passed. I have it listed for like $12,000 because the only other example I can find of her work selling in the US sold for that I think it sold in 2020. I love it. I love it so much. I can't let it go unless somebody's going to pay me for real. And I had somebody offer me $3,000 for it this week. Do you know how hard that was to say no to?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That was really hard. But I just can't let it go because I know that it's worth more than that. I don't know. I know that's crazy, but
Yeah, sometimes
Bills,
it's hard. Yeah,
though. Bills.
I know.
Sorry, Roman.
it's
The
hard.
girls are chatting. We do that. You know how women are.
No, you guys can chat also.
Once in a while.
Girl talk. Yeah.
Once in a while. But yeah, the thing about it is that some of the stuff that I even find myself that I just decide not to list right away, and I will just keep it for a certain amount of time, and then I will just sell it. I don't know. It's kind of attachment to certain things. Like, will for some reason, I don't if even if I know that it will sell for a decent amount, for some reason, I just will not list it right away, and I will just keep it and then list it like in a month. I don't know why it is, but some of those things like collectible stuff, most of the stuff that I used to like to collect, it's just I still have certain attachment to certain things, and I know there's value that I can get good money for it, but I just keep it, and then time passes and I'll sell it. But
Yeah. See, I've had this. It's a Miriam Haskell necklace. It's been in my collection for a long time, and I love it. And it's worth quite a bit. But like right now, I've had a couple people in Japan offer like 700, and it's like it's worth 3 times that. But I love it. So I'm with you. It's like you've got to have that.
It's hard because I do respect the whole like tech and sports says, some of the money all of the time instead of all of the money some of the time. And in general, I do follow that rule. Like I have been, if somebody gives me an offer, I am just get it out of my house. But those pieces that you attach yourself to and get that emotional attachment to, that is really difficult. And
Yeah,
for me, this is one of those that I'm just having a really hard time with. And I feel like if I knew more about the art world, if I was able to find an actual auction house or something where this could get the proper appreciation and proper audience, I'd be more willing to let it go. I just feel like it needs to go to the right home.
And then there's that too.
But it is, yeah, for me, like also like sometimes certain collectibles are, I mean, a certain attachment to some things is kind of what keeps me away from even listing it right away, even though I know there's gonna be good money if it sells. But it's for every person, I think it's different. I mean, some people find like really expensive stuff. They may not sell it right away, maybe because the value can go up in the future. So some of that stuff, either graded stuff, like with comic books. Do you sell comic books, Meg?
No.
Like for comic books, like it's like important. If there are certain comic books which are rare, and you can grade them and pay up to grade them, they will sell for more money. So it's basically either up to each seller if they wanna, sell it right away, get less, or they can grade it and sell it for much more. So that's why, like, as with any collectibles, Pokemon cards and Magic Gathering, like any type of like VHS tapes right now. That do you sell any type of VHS type of media?
Not really. I've if I see something that's worth it, I'll pick it up, but I very rarely look at the media. I think the most recent thing I listed that was media was a set of Reading Rainbow DVDs. So, I mean, by default, it's almost a book. But yeah, in general, not too much media.
Right. Let me say hello to Disgruntled, a very important part of reselling community from Australia. Disgruntled octopus in the house, saying hello to human beings as usual that are on Earth. We got Silverhair Stacker, Todd Larry in the house. Todd, welcome. Todd was making fun. I didn't get to the comments, all his comments yet, but I was kind of, in a way making fun of Todd's Texas teams, especially the Texans, who they beat the Browns today. So most likely, Todd is making fun of me right now in the chat, as he usually does with his desk. So I'm pretty sure he does. Maybe Lisa saw it. Did you see anything from Todd that was questionable, Lisa, today?
No, Todd was reasonably well behaved here. He kind of disappointed.
And I'm
He
putting.
was just trying to be respectful in your time of sadness.
Yeah,
Well,
everyone
yeah.
was trying to be respectful today, guys. In my time of sadness, that I didn't cry that much after the game, even though I wanted to, but I didn't. I was trying to hold myself together, guys, for the life. I was trying to kind of concentrate, behave, and not say anything bad.
Thank
But
you for your sacrifice.
yeah,
Do we have any football shorts coming out that'll give us a little more emotional insight on what a fun afternoon you did not have?
yeah, guys, and actually, Max first talking Flipper early on in the chat, he said the good thing that he sold all the Joe Flacco merchandise before the game. I'm actually currently wearing Joe Flacco jersey, so there you go, Max. And I'll keep it. I'll keep it, Max. I think he probably may come back next year for to play for the Browns, maybe as a backup. Who knows? But it is kind of fun, to just follow the teams that you love, in my opinion. What do you like sports teams, Meg? Do you follow any
So
except
I'm a baseball fan more than anything else. So Milwaukee Brewers, although like I will admit I haven't paid too much attention in the last year or two, which is terrible. I used to be spot on with like all the team members and people's stats and stuff like that, but I just feel like I kind of fell out of it. So maybe this year, maybe this will be my year that I get back into knowing more about my baseball.
Everybody's saying maybe this year, maybe next year.
Yeah,
No, this is going to be it. I'm going to start making soaps. I'm going to pay more attention to baseball. My other thing that for real I decided this year is one of my my New Year's resolutions is I'm going to stop fighting other people's wars. Like I realized the last couple of years I have given a lot of my time and energy to other people's stuff. And I'm going to try and step back from a little bit of that and
Self-care, important, balance.
Some of that.
Yeah, that's a funny comment from Urethra Franklin again. You guys probably can read it. I'm not gonna read it out loud.
She has said it before, so I already knew, and I went
out of respect for our audience. But Urethra always comes up with those jokes around different lives, so I know her jokes. So, guys, as I usually do, we're gonna do giveaway today, guys. Again, I decided in a time of sadness, it is great to
in our hour of mourning. Yeah,
guys, in a time of sadness, I decided it's time to give something away because otherwise I will feel really bad, even after the live. So today, guys, I decided, I don't know, but maybe some of you collect Predator, guys. Look, I decided I'll give away Predator, guys. Look, he has his weapon right here. If you guys remember, Predator is very important part of history, guys. It's not like disgruntled octopus. It's a disgruntled predator. But this was a popular movie, if you guys remember, back in the 80s, with that predator character, and then they did remake. So I'll give this away, guys. So let's do the giveaway. Lisa, do you like our giveaway today? Do you like the predator figure?
sure.
Well, guys, he's looking at you. He's reading your comments right now. If he's not gonna like your comments, guys, he may appear in the place where you live.
Oh, good glory, golly gosh!
So
What's the hashtag, Roman? What's the hashtag?
let me prepare the giveaway tool, guys. Otherwise, if we're not gonna have a giveaway tool, we cannot do a hashtag.
Yeah, we need our tool. We need our tool. We've got plenty.
Yeah,
if you want to throw in another giveaway,
coffee, right?
Coffee. I've got some coffee, so maybe like 3 or 4 of assorted flavors.
Actually, Meg, I really appreciate you sending me the coffee. I always forget things that I wanted to mention because, especially after today's game, I was like so sad that I forgot about everything. So I really appreciate you sending me coffee, actually, and it is really good coffee. I already tried both, and they're really good. So I really like them, appreciate it. So we're gonna do 2 giveaways today, guys. Let's do the Predator first. And then we'll do coffee. You'll get a predator drinking coffee, guys. So,
He's probably just disgruntled because he hasn't had his caffeine yet.
I come here
guys,
willingly.
in case you were wondering how tall he is, we're gonna do what they do on eBay, guys. We're gonna do a measurement for all the resellers, guys. Look at that. He is almost 12 inches tall, guys. So it's a big
Roman's
size.
measuring the predator. Okay, well,
Guys,
it is 10:06 on the
he
East
is
Coast.
almost 11.75 inches, to be exact. If we're talking about sizes. So 11.75 inches, guys. Urethra, it's a good size. So anyway, let's put hashtag predator. You guys most likely know how to spell predator. I don't have to kind of repeat or just let you know how to spell it. Most likely you know. So put in hashtag predator.
Maybe figure. Everybody, some people might have been imbibing a bit and they can't quite spell right now.
Let's do figure, guys. It's gonna be easy to spell. Let's do figure.
There you go.
So we're gonna do hashtag figure, guys, and we're gonna start the giveaway. How long, Lisa? 3 minutes?
Oh, 1 minute's fine. We've got 23 people here. If they're on top of getting your predator, they're going to be typing away in that time. So
guys, we're going to give you 5 minutes so you can put in the chat hashtag.
Why do we ask me anything? Why?
Guys, you need to kind of help Lisa choose how much time you need. Put it in the chat, guys, if you need 5 or 10 minutes or an hour. But guys, I really appreciate everyone stopping by today. It was really, Meg, it was actually a lot of fun talking to you about different
Thank you for having me.
No, it's great to see her again. I mean, it's been 3 months and you shouldn't keep such a low profile, Meg. I mean, really, get more out
I'm
there.
working in the
Want to see your
background.
pretty face. Want to see your pretty face, your incredible knowledge. I mean, you also got books, but you have a different spin than the other people. Everyone has their own way of doing things. And, you're a fun girl. You need to let other people know just what a delight you are.
Thank you.
Actually, I forgot to say hello to beautiful Lisette. Lisette, welcome if you're still here. And like I said, guys, I was putting everyone's channel in the chat, guys. If you haven't subscribed to someone, please subscribe. I also put some podcasts in. I think I got covered almost every podcast. And Flipping Fantastic podcast, that's the one I forgot, along with Reseller Information Network, guys. So I'll put it in just in case, so I don't forget. So Flipping Fantastic.
You can spin the giveaway. Matt's Profit Pursuits had to inform us it was 1 minute.
Oh, it was 1 minute. Okay, guys. Matt, appreciate it, man. It was very important. So let's share the screen, guys. And we're gonna do the predator because predator will find a new home. Finally, guys, he needs a new home. So we'll do hashtag figure. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lisa, do we have enough hashtags in the chat?
We've got enough. Some people want it.
All right, guys, let's do it. Good luck, everyone, today. And we got 6 entries. So let's do it, guys. Who is the lucky winner today, guys? And oh, wow, lucky winner is Reno. And Reno actually is from Cleveland, guys. It's not, guys, it's not rigged, guys, by the way. Reno actually is a reseller from Cleveland. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, guys. I just know Reno. And I've been finding stuff with Reno before at the bean store. So, Reno, Predator is going to you here in Cleveland. See, guys, at least we got, with the sadness of Browns losing, at least one of our Browns, Cleveland resellers will get a Predator, guys. but not rigged, guys. So don't put rigged in the comments. I know it's not. So Reno, congratulations, man. Send me your address either on Facebook, because I know Reno is following me on Facebook, or on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you can. You're probably gonna send it to me on Facebook. So just send me your address on Facebook, and I'll ship out this beautiful predator. He wants a new home.
Beautiful.
All right,
Beautiful.
guys.
Yeah, not a word I'd use.
All right, guys. Let's do second giveaway from Meg. And Meg, I really appreciate you doing giveaway.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun. Since I didn't get to do the giveaway on Whatnot, since there was really nobody there, I'm gonna do a giveaway here instead. Way more fun.
So, guys, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna give you, Lisa, you're gonna have to choose the time right now. How long we're gonna give our audience to put in a hashtag, and what type of hashtag we're gonna do this
I would
time.
say coffee. Hashtag
Mhm.
coffee. Everybody
Hashtag
can spell
coffee.
that. And just to make some people happy, we'll give it 1.5 minutes so that
Ooh.
chit-chatting can still occur.
Guys,
Timer
so put in-
go for everybody.
Guys, put in hashtag coffee. You're gonna get a coffee, which is really good flavor coffee from Door County, guys. So
And I've
there
got
you
an
go.
assortment, so whoever wins, we can just we can chit chat and figure out what you actually like.
Yeah, so guys, put in the comments, and before we're gonna run this giveaway, guys, I wanted to let you know that eventually, guys, we're gonna do hopefully like some other interesting stuff. Maybe we'll do 2 giveaways on our live in the future. Right now we're doing one, but hopefully in the future we'll do couple. If I find something interesting to give away, because I just kind of don't want to give away something that's not interesting. That's kind of my, personality. I don't like to give away something that is kind of not cool. I'm pretty sure Predator is kind of cool. Most of you most likely will agree with me. I know there are people who don't like Predator that much, so they don't need it. So what kind of flavors you got, Meg?
Well, apparently it's backwards when I'm showing it, which doesn't help. But I've got a whole bunch of good ones. I've got
But it goes into the filter the right way. So that's all that matters.
Pecan cinnamon ice cream is one of the flavors.
Ooh,
Got
now I'm
breakfast
Yeah.
blend,
Mm.
toffee pretzel. I have some of the Christmas flavors yet. So I've got naughty or nice grog,
Hey now.
mistletoe mocha, jingle bell java.
Well, how many coffees are we going to give away, Meg? Because
I
an
think it's
awful
gonna
lot
be
of people
4.
want it.
It's I could do a couple.
Yeah,
could do
we've got a
2.
lot of people saying, yeah, they want coffee.
Yeah. We can
I'm
do 2
pretty sure-
giveaways.
I'm pretty
Do
sure people need coffee more than a Predator, guys.
Well,
I'm-
they'll both
I'm
keep
drinking-
you up, but for different reasons.
I'm drinking decaf tonight in my Ufta cup. Ufta.
Woofta.
Oofta.
But
That's
this
a nice
decaf is
pronunciation.
sinful delight.
Nice.
Let me say hello to
Hey,
Mike, a crazy card in the house. Mike, welcome. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to kind of see if I missed anyone right now, just before we do giveaway, to just say hello to you, to welcome you into our live. And today I'm even in a worse condition than usual, because I'm still sad that Browns lost, guys. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm not in like one of those really exciting moods today, as of right now, yet. So excuse me for that.
You're putting on a good show anyway.
Appreciate it, Meg.
But an unprofessional one, Meg.
Oh,
Very-
of course. Of
Very,
course.
very unprofessional, guys, especially with different giveaways that we do. So unprofessional.
I would never accuse you of being professional.
All right, we need to pull that.
All right,
we-
guys, we're gonna do second giveaway. So, guys, make sure you put the right hashtag coffee in, and I'm pretty sure you did. So let's share the screen and do the second giveaway. And I'm pretty sure everyone. Oh, we got 12 entries. Well, it's even more people want coffee than Predator. And good luck, everyone, again. Let's do the second one. See how rigged that one is. Wow, and the Matt
Matt's
Bearded Coffee
winning.
Humor. Congratulations, Matt, for winning this beautiful coffee. Everything is beautiful.
Everything's gonna be beautiful.
And I want to welcome actually Matt. I forgot to welcome Matt into the live. Matt, welcome to the live. Appreciate you stopping by. And I saw Scott Bearded Picker also. Scott, welcome. So Matt, send your address to Meg. I will put her Instagram if Meg doesn't mind.
Not at all. Go for it.
All right, let me put Matt. I'll put Meg's. Everyone got scared just now.
Well, things happen on lives. It's real.
Yes, everyone got scared and ran away right this moment. So I'm pretty sure some people stayed. But let me put Meg's Instagram link into the chat, and Matt, send Meg your address so she can send you beautiful coffee. There you go.
Good old beautiful coffee. You want to run it one more time and I can give away another beautiful coffee?
All right, let's do another one, guys. We're going to do coffee hashtag again. We're going to give out all the coffees that Meg has in the house.
Luckily, I live close to the store, so I can go pick up some more.
All right, guys, let's do another one. Let's do hashtag coffee again. Meg, I really appreciate it that you're doing the giveaways with so much coffee.
It's fun.
We're gonna have viewers return next week and ask for more coffee again. So let's do another one, guys. We're gonna do hashtag coffee again. Is that gonna be different flavors this time? Meg, is it different flavors or is it the same?
What I'll probably do is share a picture of what I have available and let folks pick.
All right, that's nice.
Jack, go ahead and put yours in again because you only had coffee with one E.
Let's see. Let me go see who misspelled the coffee. Everyone has been misspelling the coffee in the chat.
If you can't spell coffee,
I cannot
There we
spell
go.
anything at all. We got Pete Craigslist Hunter in the house. Pete, welcome. Guys, like I said, I'm putting. It was actually Pete. It was great. If you're still here, it was really great interview today with podcast with John and Josh. I really enjoyed it, man. It was a lot of great information, a lot of very useful information, guys. So check out that podcast. I cannot tell you about it. You have to watch it. It's not fair to tell you about it. You have to watch the podcast, guys. You have to take 2 hours of your life to watch it.
Okay, give last call on getting the second helping of coffee in, and then run it because I think we're good.
Meg, your husband is saying you cannot dance.
Oh, he's right. He's absolutely correct.
There you go. All right, guys. So last call for coffee, guys. Last call for alcohol.
Well, now that if we're giving away,
I'm pretty sure if we're gonna start giving away whiskey or bourbon, we're gonna have like 10,000 people show up, even the Browns players.
I used to work at a distillery up here, actually. So had you caught me a year ago, we might have been doing bourbon.
Wow.
I think YouTube has a problem with that.
Yes, Meg, don't mention it because we're gonna have like 1 million people show up.
I'm getting squished by Soda City here. Take him
We're gonna
down.
have to stay here all night. So, guys, hopefully everyone is ready. So we're gonna run second batch of coffee right now on a live. So I'm pretty sure everyone is ready. Good luck, guys. So we're gonna start collecting. We got 13 entries, guys. Good luck. There we go. Hopefully someone wins. Wow, Sal.
Oh.
Sal Mercado, Salvador. Congratulations, man. Sal won. So, guys, Sal is getting coffee also. We got 2 winners with coffee, Matt and Sal. So, Sal, I put Meg's Instagram into the chat. Reach out to her and she'll send you, you'll send her your address. So she'll send you some coffee. So you can enjoy Door County coffee, man. It's very very rare blend.
Well, there's an awful lot of people that are poo-pooing that they didn't get any coffee.
Everyone is upset, guys, that they would rather get a Predator instead of coffee, guys. But guys, you're getting very rare blend of coffee, Door County. It's not available anywhere except Door County. So there you go, guys. You're gonna get a rare blend of coffee. And And John is saying, I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner, someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. John, you were asking for some kind of Russian woman, man, but I know, I'm pretty sure you're married. So I don't know how that's going to work out for you. So we'll have to talk privately, man. So you can explain what kind of woman you're looking for. In a private
Don't
chat.
encourage it, please.
Don't encourage it, man,
It's
because
a
we're gonna
different
find
show.
you. John, we're gonna find you someone. I don't know, man. Your wife may not be happy after that, or that happy. maybe if you win coffee.
All right,
don't
Shane's
know.
going to bed. Got to say goodnight to Mr. Busy.
Shane, appreciate you stopping by. It was really good that like we get every week, guys. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and showing us support. It's really nice. And like today, I told before actually, I was when I was going home from the game, I was such in a bad mood that I wanted to tell Lisa that I will probably fall asleep after I spent so much energy today, guys, cheering for the Browns, and then they laid an egg like that. It was just complete like mood swing from up to like all the way to the bottom, guys, in an instant, in like a matter of 2 minutes. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit off my mood, but I'm trying to be kind of useful for resellers and talk about reselling sometimes about value. Let me show you guys. Actually, I told Lisa when we actually talked on I think last week or on in an Instagram that I'll show you guys Cleveland Browns vintage jacket I found at the Goodwill Bins. Check this out. This is a vintage by. See, this is a brand.
And you managed to get that past the vintage kids.
Yes, I managed
That's
to
amazing.
get it. Look, it's
Because
got
they were
all
grabbing
the-
for the t-shirts.
It's a leather jacket, guys, size extra large, and this is made in the United States. Got large. This is velvet. That's velvet page. Cleveland Browns page right here. There's an American Conference page right here, and large Cleveland Browns logo helmet on the back. And I've got it from Vintage Kids, guys. The Vintage Kids didn't have a chance to get it, but they wanted to buy it from me, actually. I was offered $100, guys, right away at the bins. And I decided not to sell it. I decided to keep it. This is Jeff Hamilton. See if you're going to see it or not, but this is Jeff Hamilton, made in the United States. Right there. So it's a good brand, and it was a really clean, guys.
It's a nice find.
To find it at Goodwill Bins in such a great condition, guys. It's like probably it was kind of I was fortunate because I'm such a big Cleveland Browns fan. That's why it went to me, guys. So there you have it. So guys, if you don't have any questions for Meg, or if you do have questions for Meg, we still got time. I think Jake didn't go live today, right?
I didn't see Jake at all. Not a word. He didn't even pop in the chat. So I'm assuming he's still on hiatus.
And Eureka is saying nobody wants to buy my Paul Abdul Shut Up and Dance VHF. Yeah, that's actually a difficult sale, Eureka. I don't know who wants Paul Abdul right now. She's not famous anymore, so I don't know. But and here's Pete. Actually, I'll put Pete's channel in also, guys. Check out his channel. Pete got very cool, good content, guys, especially with when he has scammers coming in. If you watched the latest videos, guys, there is gonna be people that try to scam, which is actually kind of it happens not just in the shops, it happens all over the place. In eBay, Poshmark, doesn't matter where it is.
Well, and Meg can now stalk him because he's going to be vacationing right up there with her.
He's going to be right up with me.
Yeah, Pete, Meg will start showing up at your Door County location, man. So make sure to let her in. Pete was like, what the hell?
Be sure your GoPro batteries are charged up, Meg.
John, yeah, sorry, man. I had a feeling today, man, that they may I had a feeling, John, that either they're gonna win big or they're gonna lose big. There was
Go
like
big or go home.
nothing in between, and that's what happened. Unfortunately, they just quit. That was unfortunate thing. They just quit because I saw how they just quit, and that's it. It was over basically after that, and it is what it is. That's what happens, man. So, but Meg, so I'll make you big, and you can tell everyone where to find you again. What you have, which Door County area to find you.
I know the pressure, Meg. You're like, this is gonna make me make content.
And
I
yeah,
know.
what
I
is
know.
You did it. You did it to yourself.
so, guys? Here's Lilac Seller Meg.
Ooh, you can't make me big. I'm just a mess. All right. Oh, did
Hey!
you hear that, guys? We
Oh,
got a
so good.
cha-ching.
Which is-
You can find me on Instagram and on YouTube. Lilac Cellar. Cellar is CELLAR, like the
'Cause we
basement.
keep you in the basement.
Yep. Yep. So you can find, like, if you just Google Lilac Cellar, pretty much all the things will come up. So that's where you can find me. I don't have much content at this point, but you know, there may be some things out there. We'll see what happens. So thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to follow Meg and subscribe to her channel, I put the links in the description. Please subscribe and help her channel grow, guys. As I always say, help each other out and support each other because YouTube itself is very difficult type of ride, as you guys know. So it is important at least for some kind of support sometimes, but you have to, of course, put content out for someone to support, right? It's not easy to support.
I've heard that
each other.
rumor.
I'm just gonna quick say thank you to Matt because that's where that cha-ching came from.
Oh, which Matt? We had 3 in there in the room.
Bearded PokeTuber. So,
Okay.
Oh,
thank you.
Give
Matt,
credit where due.
there you go. And we got Commonwealth Swinger in the house, so I don't know who is trying to play the games. Maybe it is
We're
a
blaming
swinger.
it on Shane, but apparently it's supposed to be a real person who fixes cars. You bet I checked it out as soon as it popped in. I was looking for a pineapple. I was looking for pineapples on the videos, but no.
We got some kind of swingers in the house, guys. I don't know what it means, but
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
let's
Don't
not
get the
go
rest
there,
of the
guys.
chat
We're not
started.
gonna do any swinging. But
thank you for
anyway,
the compliments, you guys, and thank you for having me. This has been great.
so let me, before we leave, I'll say hello to Farside Jack Mike in the house. Mike, thanks for stopping by. And if I missed anyone, I'm really apologizing, guys, right now in advance. I just met them at the damn Walmart. that's the thing right now, guys. I will, or we can meet up. Reno, reach out to me on Facebook. We can meet up, man. No problem. We can. I mean, Reno lives like around probably 15 minutes from me, so we can just meet up. But guys, I appreciate you all participating in giveaways. And yeah, I don't know who is writing that. That's for a chance to win. But yeah, that's kind of weird in a way.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, so Meg, appreciate you joining us today on our live. It was
Thank
really
you both.
fun.
Thank you to everybody.
And guys, appreciate you all stopping by, supporting us. And I'm pretty sure I forgot to ask many questions, but it is what it is, guys. Hopefully, Meg will be with us again in the future live, so we can ask other questions. And once again, guys, thanks, and have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see you next week, guys, on a Saturday. Next Saturday. Take care, everyone.
Guys,
Y'all
thank
come back
you.
now. You hear? See you next week. Be profitable.
Bye, guys.